Your goal should always be to try to make sure that your services are free. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. One of the questions that I get a lot is about agency pricing and how we determine the pricing for our clients. And the answer is virtually all of our clients pay a different rate for one reason or another. It's not because we like one client, more than another, even though we do kind of have our favorites. Different clients have different degrees of difficulty, and the degree of difficulty is one of the largest determining factors in the prices that we quote our clients. Factor is the value of our deliverables. If I can generate $500,000 worth of work and collect $30,000 or $40,000 to do that, that's a great win for the client. Almost any business owner will say yes to a proposition like that, and it's a relatively low risk with respect to their marketing budget, because if you're targeting companies that are $1 to $5, $10, $20 million, a $30,000 investment is not an incredible amount of risk for them. And if there is such a tremendous upside that they're willing to give you a shot, that makes sense for both sides. So, because we've got a lot of success stories where we've literally generated 10, 15, 20x return on investment, our work tends to pay for itself over a long period of time because it builds on itself. So SEO is about strengthening your web presence over a period of time. So the work that you do in years 1, 2, and 3 will pay dividends for years on end if you do it right. Our services aren't really based on an hourly rate. We bill based on the value of the deliverable, not cost of goods sold. And what we found is that's a far more equitable way to establish our pricing model than just saying you get 40 hours at $125 an hour, and when we run out of hours, we're either going to bill you more or we're just going to stop work. Now, I've seen a lot of agencies work that model, and I think it's bad for the client. I think it's bad for the client relationship. And I think relationships work best when there's a healthy amount of give and take. And relationships especially work best in a retainer setup where clients don't have to worry about being nickel-dimed over every tiny little thing they ask you to do. They can just email you and you go to town. Imagine they just need something changed on their website real quick. They just send you a quick email or post a message to Basecamp, and you and your team get right on it. And they don't have to worry about getting another bill because they're paying a flat rate retainer. Where do those numbers come from? Where did I pull $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year from? Well, if you've taken the time to understand your client's business and how what you produce is going to be of value to them, it shouldn't be all that difficult for you to put a price on your services with respect to what it's going to do for them. Because in those conversations, you should be determining the lifetime value of a customer or a client in their world. And then you project out how many customers or clients you think you're going to be able to get for them on a monthly or annual basis. So as a quick example, let's just say the average customer is worth $10,000 in a particular industry, and you think you're going to be able to get them 20 new customers before the end of the year. 10K times 20 is 200,000. So if you're going to generate $200,000 worth of business that they wouldn't otherwise have been able to get, what should you collect for that? 30 or 40,000 bucks seems like a reasonable amount. That's about 15 to 20% of the value you're bringing. So it lowers the risk on their end. And then once you deliver, your work is paying for itself. And that's the beauty of all of this. If your work is paying for itself, they'll stick with you pretty much forever because it's free. Your goal when you're pricing your services should always be to try to make sure that your services are free. Wrap your mind around that one. And in the meantime, I'll see you on the next video.